Okay, question number 5, this is mainly relating to working capital management. Okay, in a working capital management, we are discussing about how to manage our working capital and what is the benefit of working capital management, some basic concepts about over trading, over capitalization, aggressive approach to working capital management. Then we will discuss about cash operating cycle and how to manage our receivables, whether we have to extend the credit period or reduce the credit period. These items and inventory management side, we will look at about if we apply inventory management techniques, what is the suitable quantity or economic order quantity we need to maintain, how are we going to minimize overall inventory cost, when you receive the bulk discount, which should be the optimal order quantity. Those kind of things will be discussed under working capital management, and which has a weightage of 10%. Okay, now we will read question number 5 and see how we are going to deal with working capital management question. Nauro Products Private Limited NPL has just acquired a new company and is now reviewing its financial statements to develop suitable financial policies for future years. The following details were produced for the analysis of its working capital management. The current year, a gross profit of 20% was earned on a total sales value of 20 million. That means 20% is the gross profit, that means 80% is cost of sales. Remember, keep in mind. Year on year sales growth was 40% for the year. However, gross profit margin was reduced by 5% compared to the previous year results, as sales are made on credit basis. That means there might be some bad debts and all, that's why your profit has declined, but your revenue has gone up. That means that is a kind of some indication about over trading situation. You will increase your sales revenue at a rapid or higher rate, but the profitability will decline due to inefficiencies in working capital management. Okay. Other extracts of the financial statement being given: average debtors 3.4 million, average inventory 3.2 million, average creditors 1.4 million, short term loan limit 3.5, almost use 3.3. That means you are facing some liquidity problem. Available short term facilities majority being fully utilized. Okay. Industry statistic given: inventory turnover period 45 days. Okay. Account receivable and payment period 830 days. Account payable payment period 40 days. Year on year sales growth 15%. Industry sales revenue will grow by 15%, but company, it has went up by 40%. That indicates over trading situation. Okay, we'll look at what they asked to do. Compute cash operating cycle of the company. You can calculate cash operating cycle in terms of value. Value you can easily calculate. Average debtors there, average inventory and creditors there, you can easily calculate operating cycle in terms of rupee value. In terms of days, because we have to compare with industry statistics, industry has given in number of days. Okay, we'll do in both terms. I will calculate, we need to calculate average inventory turnover period, debtor collection period and creditor settlement period. First I will go to first one, debtor collection period. Debtor collection period. You will calculate debtor collection period, average debtors, divide by sales, credit sales into 365. Based on this information, average debtor balance 3.4 million okay, 3.4 million. Average total sales given 20 million per annum, 20 million into 365. If you calculate the debtor collection period, it will take 62 days to collect. That means you have given 2 months credit period, 62 days. 62 days to collect it. Okay. That is average debtor collection period. Then we will look at inventory turnover period or inventory holding period. Inventory holding period. Inventory holding period. Inventory holding period. When you are going to calculate inventory holding period, average inventory should be divided by the cost of sales. Here cost of sales not given directly, then how to calculate it? Cost of sales you can calculate. Here it says gross profit margin 20%, then cost of sales should be 80%. Okay. Therefore, average inventory divide by cost of sales into 365 into 365. Average inventory value is given 3.2 million. Okay, it is 3.2 million. Cost of sales how much? Cost of sales 20% gross profit margin mean 80% cost of sales. Therefore, out of 20 million is the revenue, 80%, that means 16 million is the cost of sales into 365. You will get inventory holding period as 73 days. 73 days. Your inventory holding period 73 days. Then average creditor balance given, then you have to look at creditor turnover period or creditor settlement period. Third one. Creditor settlement period. Settlement period. Creditor settlement period. If you calculate it, average creditors divide by cost of sales into 365. Average creditors given 1.4 million. Cost of sales we have calculated 20 million into 80%, it is 16 million into 365. The answer will be 32 days. You are settling within 1 month period almost. 32 days. Creditor settlement period 32 days. Those are the information available. Now you can calculate cash operating cycle, inventory holding period, debtor collection period minus creditor settlement period, then you can get cash operating cycle. Okay. Inventory holding period. Inventory holding period. Inventory holding period 73 days. 73 days plus debtor collection period or debtor turnover period, debtor collection period 62 days. 62 days. Then deduct creditor settlement period. Period 32 days. Then you will receive cash operating cycle in terms of days. Cash operating cycle. $73 plus 62, 135 minus 32 mean cash operating cycle 103 days. 103 days. This is in terms of number of days. You can, this is suitable, you can compare industry average with the company average. In terms of rupee value, you can calculate inventory. What is the inventory balance? 3.4 million. Inventory balance is 3.2 million. Debtors 3.4 million. Creditors 1.4 million. If you look at in the point of rupee value, the 103 cash operating cycle, 103 days, the cash requirement is how much? 5.2 million in terms of rupee value. In terms of rupee value, 5.2 million. Now you can see that how to calculate cash operating cycle in terms of number of days, in terms of rupee value both. In order to compare, you can compare this with industry average whether you are doing properly or not. Okay, well, we will see what is the second part it does. Identify the current working capital management status and identify the main problem faced by NPL. Okay, if we look at their working capital situation, we will compare, we will start the comparison with the industry. Thereafter, we can compare what are, you can identify the drawbacks in their working capital management system. Okay. Inventory average, industry average is also given. We'll take company and industry. Company and industry. Take inventory holding period, inventory turnover period. Okay, inventory holding or turnover. Company, it is 73 days. Industry, only 45 days it will take. 45 days. Okay. Then if you look at debtor collection period, debtor turnover period. If you look at debtor turnover period, company takes 62 days, industry only take 30 days. Within 30 days, 1 month credit period they have only offered. Account payable period, creditor turnover, period, company 32 days, industry take 40 days. If you look at cash operating cycle of company and industry, company takes 103 days, industry only take 35, is it 35 days? 40 days to settle, 75 minus is 35 days. 35 days. Now you can easily identify where the problem exists. Okay. cash operating cycle of the company is higher with the industry of 35 days. Main reason, company hold more inventory than it require in the industry factories. That is one reason. Company gives more credit period than industry. They have given 2 months. That is mainly because of in order to increase the turnover. Because industry turnover went up by 15%, but company has grown up by 40%. That might be the reason. You have offered extensive credit to get abnormal sales growth rate. Creditor settlement period, you have to settle immediately. That industry takes more time than you. That means industry practice, they can take longer credit period than company. Those are the reason. Okay. Those are the reason. Then you have invested, you have taken more funds from the short term financing arrangement, then your working capital problem will go up further. Okay. You can give the suggestion, industry takes longer period to settle their creditors, but company has a shorter credit period to settle their creditors. That is the one weakness. Okay. Number 2, in order to increase the turnover, company has given extensive credit period than the industry. That's why company has reported a higher sales growth rate than the industry. Third, in order to increase the turnover, company has excessively hold inventories rather it required. It 73 days, here it is 45 days, inventory turnover is less. You are holding more inventory than the industry. Those are the reason, and due to high level of inventory and high level, it associate with the working capital requirement will more than required, then what will happen? The finance cost of the arrangement will go up. Those are the problems. If you calculate current ratio and quick ratio, also you can get an idea about the liquidity situation. Because you are, if you look at your current liability short term loan limit 3.5, it is 3.3 now. If you look at average creditor 1.4 and 3.3 short term loan, that is the current liability, you can calculate current asset and current liability ratio as well. Current ratio, current asset divided by current liability. Current asset, inventory 3.2 million, debtors 3.4 million, divide by current liability, creditors 1.4 million plus short term loan 3.3 million. If you look at this one, your current ratio will be 1.4 times. Current ratio 1.4 times. Quick ratio, you have to remove inventory 3.2, then calculate it, it will be 0.72 times. Okay. Quick ratio, you can calculate. Inventory turnover you can't take, debtors only 3.4 million divided by 1.4 plus 3.3 million. Total you can take 0.72 as the quick ratio. Quick ratio also fall. That is the liquidity crisis which company in a over trading situation. Okay. Outline 3 recommendations to overcome the problem identified B. That means the liquidity problem, the liquidity issues, and reducing the revenue. What are the suggestions you can take? In order to improve the liquidity situation, you can convert the short term liabilities into long term loan. You can renegotiate. In order to reduce the working capital cycle, You can negotiate with your suppliers to extend the credit period. Okay. You can offer early settlement discount to get collected this outstanding, then it will be reduced further, and you should curtail the inventory levels. You have to adapt when it is required. You have to purchase the material. You have to reduce the volume of inventory you are going to purchase. Clear? There are some suggestions to improve in question number 5. Here it's mentioned, try to get more new capital inflows from the owners. Yes, since you have a liquidity issue, you can ask equity holders to infuse the capital. You can obtain long-term loan facility instead of short-term loan facilities. Then you have to look at about your aggressive growth pattern. Aggressive growth may not be beneficial since you are generating losses. Therefore, you have to look at sustainable growth. Those need to be considered when it is going to implement these suggestions, okay, in order to improve the liquidity situations of the company. Inventory controls reduce the stock holding period and improve the stock turnover period. Ideally, company should benchmark with the industry average. Industry average is 45 days, company holding 73 days. That means you have to benchmark with the industry, reduce the inventory level, then working capital requirement will reduce. Okay. You can give the comparison and say that our working capital cycle is 3 times than industry average. Industry 35, our is 103, company average. That means you require working capital 3 times than the industry. Therefore, it can be reduced if you manage your debtors and inventory and creditors, then you can reduce the working capital requirement. Okay. Then we will move to the next question, that is the third section. Each will give 20 marks. Okay. That means recommended time for the section was 72 minutes. Then you should be able to complete this within 72 minutes, means 1 hour and 12 minutes. 36 minutes can be allocated to each illustration. You have to practice more and more questions, then you will be able to finish this one. Okay, this is related to project appraisal. Okay, read the illustration. Oxim Private Limited OPL is evaluating an investment in a new product which is estimated to have a capital expenditure of 60 million at present day. For machinery and equipment, sum of needs to be imported. That means that will be the initial investment 60 million. Okay, underline that 60 million. While you are reading it, underline it. The expected production period of this new product is 5 years. That means your project duration is 5 years. අවුරුදු 5කට තමයි project duration එක. Initial investment will be 60 million. The management expect the machinery and equipment to have a residual value of 10% after the production period. That means the initial investment will be recovered, 10% will be recovered at the end of the project period, that is the end of 5th year. At what 60 million is the initial investment, underline that. The product will be made in the excess production facility of the company, which has been presently rented out to a third party. The rental income relevant for the next year is 6 million, which is payable during the same year. This rental is subject to an annual increase of 10%. Once the project period ends, this facility could be rented out again or utilized for future operation. That means if you use these premises for this project, you have to forego rental expense on this particular building facility. That means there is an opportunity cost. Write it down. There is an opportunity cost of 6 million. It will be increased 10% over the years. That is opportunity cost of taking this facility. Okay, you have to consider when evaluating the project as an opportunity cost, as an outflow. The marketing team has forecasted the following information for this new product. Selling prices given, sales volume also given, and says selling price has been preset after considering the inflationary factor. That means selling price adjusted for inflation. That means nominal selling price is given. Then we have to look at when the figures are given in nominal rate, it should be discounted by nominal discount rate. If the figures given in real rate or real factor without adjusting inflation, then it should be discounted real discount rate. We will see if the multiple discount rate, multiple inflation rates are applicable to different component. Suitable method is use nominal discount rate. Okay. Majority of the variable cost of the product contains raw materials which are imported from Middle Eastern countries. As such, the cost of materials is highly dependent on the economic condition of the supplying country. The purchasing department has made the following forecast: economic condition for the each country based on the import of material. Variable cost per unit 1700, the probability is 35%. Neutral, variable cost per unit will be 1500, probability is 45%. Favorable condition, variable cost per unit 1400, but the probability is 20%. That means you have to calculate expected variable cost per unit. Okay, expected variable cost per unit, and variable cost is subject to 4% inflation effect. Annually it will inflate by 4%. Therefore, you have to consider annually 4% increase of variable cost from year 1 to year 5. Okay. Fixed overhead for the project is 10% per annum in present day value. That means without adjusting inflation. Except for those which are specified, general inflation would be 5% per annum. That means fixed overhead also will increase by 5% each year. OPL can claim tax allowable depreciation at 20% per year on a straight line method on the full capital expenditure. Okay, capital allowance will be given on 20%. That means you can claim it over 5 years. The corporate tax rate is 28% per annum payable in the year which liability arises, not in year arrears, same year it has to be paid. OPL currently pays corporate taxes from other operations. Okay. OPL has a real after weighted tax average cost of capital of 10% and a nominal after tax weighted average cost of capital of 15.5. Cost of equity OPL is 20%. Real cost of capital is should not consider in this instance. Why? Different inflation rate applicable to selling price, variable cost and fixed production overhead. Better to use nominal cost of capital rate. It's a weighted average cost of capital, low cost of equity. It is weighted average cost of capital. It has not mentioned how you are going to finance this project. Not only from equity, it will be mixed financing arrangement. Therefore, you have to take weighted average cost of capital. Evaluate the financial feasibility or acceptability of the project based on NPV method. Okay. Now we will start to do the computation. If we apply NPV method, how we are going to decide the viability of the project. Okay. Start with year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 and year 5. Okay. Figures are in rupees million. First I will take initial investment. Question itself says initial investment of machinery which need to be imported at the beginning at the present day cost terms, you have to spend 60 million. It is an outflow, 60 million no need to mention as million, 60. That is the initial investment. Initial investment. Okay. Then the expected production period of new product is 5 years, and management expects the machinery and equipment to have a residual value of 10% after the production period. Residual value, you can claim residual value of 10%. Residual value, that means 6 million. It is an inflow at the end of the project, 6 million. 6. Okay. First point, first bullet point. The product will be made in the excess production facility of the company, which has been presently rented out to a third party. The rental income relevant for the next year rental income is 6 million. That means year 1 you will receive 6 million, and this rental is subject to an annual increase of 10%. That means you have an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost of rental. Next year you will receive 6 million. 6 million you have to forego on it. Next year it will be 10% increase will be there, 6.6 then. You will lose 6.6 million in second year. Third year another 10%, that means 7.26 million. Fourth year another 10% will go up, it will be 7.99 million. That is an opportunity cost. Fifth year it will be 8.79. 10% increase there from the second year onwards. Then sales forecast given, it has been adjusted for inflation. 50,000 unit in first year, selling price is 2,000, that is 100 million is the revenue. Okay, we will take the sales revenue. Sales revenue. If you want to have a calculation, you can have a separate working for that, but selling price and it is adjusted for inflation and the quantity is given, selling price into quantity, then you can get the revenue. 50,000 into 2,000 per unit, revenue is 100 million. Year 2, 80,000 in 2,100, it will be 168 million. Year 3, 120,000 into 2,400, 288 million. 288 million. Fourth year, 90,000 into 2,500, it should be 225. 25. Year 5, 40,000 into 2,600, 104 million. This is the total sales turnover, total revenue. Selling price adjusted for inflation. Majority of the variable cost of the product contains raw material, and based on the economic factor, the variable cost will change. Okay, I will variable cost. I will put as a working number 1. I will do the working here. Working number 1, variable cost. Expected variable cost. It says if the unfavorable condition exists, the variable cost will be 1,700, probability will be 35%. Okay, therefore you have to calculate 1,700 is the unfavorable situation, it will be there 35%. Plus neutral, 1,500 is the variable cost per unit, probability is 45%. If the conditions are neutral, 1,500 into 45%. Finally, in the favorable condition, variable cost is 1400, probability is 20%. 1400 into 20%. Total, if you calculate expected value of the variable cost should be 1550. Expected variable cost, probability only multiply kala ganuna, you have to multiply it by probability, then you have to calculate it based on probability. Now we will calculate year 1 to year 4 years, year 1 to year 5. First year, variable cost is subject to inflation of 4%. Okay, that means 1550 into 1.04, okay, into output. First year output is 50,000, I will say 50k. Value should be 80.6 million. Year 2, 1550 into 1.04 power 2 into production 80k, 80,000. The answer will be 134.1. Okay. Year 3, inflation is 4%, 50 into 1.04 power 3, production 120,000, 120k. The answer will be 209.2. 209.2 million. Fourth year, 1550, 1.04 power 4, production 90,000. It will be 163.2 million. Fifth year, 1550 to 1.04 power 5 into 40,000. 75.4. 75.4 million. That's year 1 to year 5 if you calculate the variable cost of material or variable cost of production with the inflation of 4% adjusted for each year. Now we will calculate variable cost in year 1. It should be 80.6 million. Year 2 it is 134.1 million. You have to deduct. Year 3 209.2 and year 4 163.2 million and year 5 75.4 million. That is variable cost of, as stated, based on the expected variable cost. Expected fixed overhead, okay, fixed overhead directly attributable to this project. Fixed overhead, remember 5% increase the annual increment. Currently 10%, present day value 10%, it will increase by 5%, general inflation of 5%. That means 10 into 105%, 10.5. 10.5 million in first year, 10.5 million overhead cost. 5% it will goes up each year, then 11.03 and 11.58 12.16, 12.76, 5% it will goes up. Now we will take net cash flow before tax, because this will be helpful to calculate your tax liability. Net cash flow before tax. Year 1, you have a net cash flow of how much? $5.45, sorry, 2.9 million, 16.26 million, 59.94 million, 41.66 million, 13.02 million. This is the net cash flow before tax. Now you have to calculate taxation, how much tax would be. Taxation, I will put a note, working number 2, taxation. Working number 2. Taxation, this is the this is the cash flow profit. In the taxation, you can claim capital allowances. Then you can calculate taxable profit and taxation. Therefore, working number 2, I will prepare in this column. You have the cash flow, okay, like profit before tax, cash flow before tax. Then you have deduct capital allowance. Thereafter, you can get the taxable profit and taxation. Working number 2, taxation. Year, net cash flow and capital allowance, taxable profit and tax at 28%. Okay, tax at 28%. We will take the net cash flow in year 1 to year 5. Year 5. Net cash flow is given 2.9 million, 2.9 million first year, 16.26 we have already taken, 16.26, 59.94, 41.66 and 13.02. Those are the net cash flows we have already taken here. These net cash flows will be taken in the tax computation. Now you can claim 20% capital allowance on the initial investment of 60 million. Million hata ko invest karla thiyena, you have invest 60 million, you can claim capital allowance 20% on the cost. Therefore, 60 million into 20%, you can deduct 12 million as capital allowance. Then it will be 60. Then taxable profit or tax carried forward tax loss, so you can calculate. Here it will be tax profit, taxable loss 9.1. 9.1. Tax at 28, it will be tax asset 2.55. Tax recoverable amount 2.55, recoverable tax. Year 2, it is 4.26. At a rate of 28%, it will be 1.19. Year 3, 47.94 is the taxable profit for 59.94 minus 12. At 28% tax rate, 13.42. Year 4, 29.66. At 28%, 8.31. Year 5, 1.02, then it will be 0.29. That's how taxation will work. That's how taxation will work. Now you can deduct the taxation. Okay, I will deduct taxation. Here it should be at 2.55. Here 1.19 you will deduct. 13.42 you have to deduct it here. 8.31. 0.29. Now you have to get the net cash flow. Net cash flow of the project. Net cash flow. 60, it is an outflow. It is an outflow. Then this should be 5.45. Year 2, 15.07. Year 3, 46.52. 46.52. Year 4, 33.36. 33.36. Year 5, 12.73. 12.73. This is the net cash flow. Now you have to calculate what you have to discount these cash flows by using relevant discount factor. What should be the discount factor? Here says weighted tax, real tax after weighted average cost of capital 10%, but these cash flows are nominal cash flows. You can't use real discount factor. 15.5 is the weighted average cost of nominal discount factor. Nominal after tax weighted average cost of capital 15.5. Yes, we can use 15.5. Why? These figures are nominal figures. Not take 20% because we don't know. It has not mentioned entire 60 million financed by equity. Generally, we are using weighted average cost of capital. Therefore, nominal weighted average cost of capital, nominal WACC at 15%, 15.5%. Discount factor. Whatever the discount factor, it is anyway 1 at the beginning. Then 0.866. 1 divided by 1.15, then your first year discount factor will receive. Then divide again by 1.15, then you press equal, then you can easily get the discount factor. Here it is 0.75. 0.649 and 0.562 and 0.487. If you multiply these cash flows by this discount factor, then you can get the present value of cash flow. Then if you take together, you will receive the net cash flow or net present value of the project. 60 into 1, it is 60. 5.45 minus into 0.866, get the value. 15.07 into 0.75. After you compute the present value of these cash flows, you will end up with net present value of NPV of how much? 11.154 million. 11.154 million. You will end up with the cash flow of 11.154 million. Okay. Therefore, first one, evaluate the financial acceptability of the project based on the net present value. Yes, we can accept based on NPV technique. It has generated positive NPV of 11.15 million. It is financially feasible to accept this project. It is financially feasible to accept this project. Then you can say based on NPV technique, this is an acceptable project. Part 2, evaluate the risk of the project in terms of the internal rate of return. That means you have to calculate internal rate of return. Definitely your internal rate of return mean the rate of return which your NPV equal to 0. If your NPV equal to 0, these cash flows should be discount more than 15.5. If you apply 15.5, it has a positive NPV. Definitely the rate which your NPV equal to 0 will be greater than 15.5. Shall we check with 25% discount rate and see what would be the NPV? Then if it is a negative NPV in between 15 and 25, your IRR rate will exist. No need to do it again. Now you have the net cash flow. Discount these cash flows by using discount rate. I will do the computation here. Okay, we have the net cash flow. Okay, we have the net cash flow. I am going to calculate IRR. Net cash flow. I will take year 0 as well. Year 0. Net cash flow. Year 0 it is a negative NP, negative cash flow 60. Year 1 5.45 million. Year 2 15.07. Year 3 46.52. Year 4 33.36. Year 5 12.73. This is the net cash flow. Then discount factor at 25%. I will take 25% discount factor. Here it is anyway 1. 1 divided by 1.25, it is 0.8. Divide by again 0.8 divided by 1.25, it will say 0.64. Press equal, then 0.512, 0.401, 0.323. Now you can take discounted cash flow. Discounted cash flow. Okay. Here anyway it is 60 and outflow. 5.45 into 0.8. 4.36. 15.07 into 0.64. 9.64 million. 46.52 into 0.512, 23.82. 33.36 into 0.401, 13.38. 12.73 into 0.323, 4.1. 11. Take the net present value. NPV at 25%. $4.69, it is a negative NPV. 4.69, it is negative NPV. If it is 25%, NPV is negative. If it is 15.5, NPV is positive. That means your IRR rate is greater than 15.5, lower than 25%. Then we will calculate IRR. You can easily calculate IRR. Definitely, IRR should be greater than 15.5, lower than 25%. Okay, IRR I will compute. IRR, lower discount rate, lower rate plus NPV at lower rate divide by NPV at lower rate minus NPV at highest rate into highest rate minus lower rate. Your lowest rate is 15.5. 15.5 is the lowest rate plus. At 15.5, your NPV is 11.154. NPV at lower rate 11.154 million. Okay, divide by NPV at lower rate 11.154 million minus into minus it become plus. Highest rate at 25% it is minus 4.69 million into highest rate 25% minus lowest rate 15.5. The answer should be 15.5% plus. Get the answer 11.54 154 plus 4.69 6.69%. The answer should be 22.19%. This is the rate, IRR rate 22.19%. 22.19%. Then you can mention that if you borrow any funds beyond 22.19, your NPV will be 0. If you go beyond that, your NPV becomes negative. At present, your equity cost of equity also 20%. At full, if you finance fully, if the investment financed by equity finance, still you have a positive NPV. But if the cost beyond 22.19%, cost of the project or project viability become negative and it should not be accepted. Okay, that you need to keep in mind when you are going to calculate IRR. Okay, then part C says that, what part C says? Part C, OPL has made all the project related estimation prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. Explain 3 areas which will have elevated exposure of risk OPL mainly due to the outbreak. The main problem when you are going to implement this problem initiate the project, the selling price get affected due to the purchasing power of the customers. Then imports also been restricted. Then it is unsure that whether you will be able to import the machinery. Foreign exchange will fluctuate, the foreign exchange will depreciate, then your initial investment might goes up. Okay, then interest rate significantly reduce over the period. Even this 15.5 will be more higher interest rate. You can borrow the funds at a lower rate for a specific project at a lower interest rate. Policy will apply now. You can borrow the funds at a lower rate, then this become a more favorable situation. Selling prices also you might have to adjust based on the market condition. That's you need to consider in when you are making the project appraisal. And material import prices might goes up. When they are going to import, material availability may be lower. Since this is a global pandemic, everyone got affected, therefore it is difficult to get the material. Therefore you have to predict more adverse condition, you have to keep more weight on adverse situation. The material variable cost will be goes up, then it will be affected to the NPV of the project profitability, NPV and the project profitability. Okay, that is the end of question number 6 we have just discussed. Okay, question number 6 mainly related to project appraisal.